Whodat, everybody. Hope you're doing well. They got a quick one for you today with Brett Maxie talking about the transition in the 80s from when they went from, your father's Saints into Saints that actually started winning football, winning divisions. Before we jump into the clip, make sure you jump onto SeatGeek.com, promo code John Butler, no spaces, just John Butler. Save yourself $20. In any event, let's hear from the legend, Brett Maxie.
I made the team because they didn't have a lot of success, and they were looking to bring, guys in to compete for the guys that have been there. Because we had a relatively veteran team. Back then, there was no free agency, so there was no movement, and the young guys. Back then they would cut draft picks. They didn't care. They just wanted the best players, and it kind of. If you were a young guy coming in, you had to work twice as hard to remove the incumbent. But we were not that good. And guys were kind of taking advantage of, they really didn't, they were taking advantage of what their situation was, because they knew as a veteran player, it was going to be twice as hard for a younger player to come in. And these guys didn't work as hard. Okay? They were just kind of getting through it. But that all changed once Jim Mora took over, because he had a different mentality and coaching style than what Bum Phillips. Now, I love Bum because he gave me my first, NFL chance. But it was so laid back and relaxed, because Bum Phillips was coming from the Houston Oilers, and they were in the old AFC. I guess it was the old AFC North, or the old AFC Central, and they were competing in the championship games against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, but they had guys, they had veteran players, good players. Quarterback was good. Kenny Stabler. They had, not Kenny Stabler. Dan Pastorini. What's the running back's name? Earl Campbell was there, who I played with my rookie year, because Bum brought him to New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So when I got in the locker room, there was a lot of old guys. We had a guy named Guido Merkins who played quarterback. He played kicker. He played defensive back. He played just about every position on the field, okay, on the team. And that's because, he was athletically, he was pretty much better than everybody. Like if somebody went down, put Guido in. And we're playing the Oakland Raiders in a regular season game out in Oakland. Our quarterback goes down. Guido is playing receiver. He's our next quarterback to go in. And then the next week he ended up playing on defense. And I'm going, it's no way. And I'm looking at this guy. This guy's not that. He can do a lot of things, but he's not really special at one thing. Okay? Mm-hmm. And so we ended up winning 5 games that year, because we had a locker room full of guys that were really on their way out. Okay? Jim Mora comes in, and he changed the entire culture, because he wanted young, fast, and tough players. That's when the culture started to change. So in '86, I think we won maybe 7 games. '87, we have our first ever winning season in 18 years as a franchise. And then we start competing for the division against the 49ers. And as you well know, you had to beat the 49ers in order to win it. Yep. And we were able to do couple of times to win the division.
Hope you enjoyed that clip. Don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate every one of you. Who dat, everybody?